The Russians launched the kitchen sink.
What?
We should be heading to Mount Weather.
Wait, where's the rest of the NSC? Aren't we advising POTUS on countermeasures?
We already did. The president ordered major attack option 1. It's done.
Oh my God.
David Gray and I had about a year's worth of discussion about how to do this episode. And that was the thing that hung me up, was not making the whole episode about a nuclear event.
Barbara and I each have a slightly different point of view of how we got to actually doing this episode, because Barbara just said, no, we're not doing it. And I said, okay. And I was actually a little relieved because again, inherently there are problems, like, because once you get past the crisis, it felt very, just conceptually, it felt a little bit dry.
Partly because what is that a story about? And partly because it becomes something that I like to call terror porn, where, you know, we're just doing an episode to terrify people, and neither of us could find a way to do it in a constructive way. And then once we decided, oh, it really is an episode about de-alerting.
Rather than kicking the episode off with a discussion, you know, we really should look into this policy. We put it on its feet. We say, holy crap, the Russians have launched. And then we get to see the policy in action, which is incredibly dramatic when our characters believe that there's a full-scale Russian attack.
We wanted to juxtapose scenes of everyday life with this event. We wanted to play it out as much in real time as possible in terms of how quickly these decisions have to be made in a real-life event. And that also seemed to be a way to come into the story without just making it about the terror of it all. And the fact that Secretary of State Elizabeth McCord is not in the inner sanctum when this happens, we felt that drove the point home even more clearly.
After they avert disaster, then the conversation is that much more emotional because the characters have been through it.
Normally I would have a problem with a man telling me that I was emotional at work. But after what happened today, after thinking that I was seeing my kids for the very last time, you are damn right I'm emotional.
Then it became an episode of Madam Secretary, because that's what we do. We put forth a policy. We talk about something that can be done.
I mean, I think of it as civics-tainment. I got to work on that, but entertainment civics.
We like to represent all points of view. We like to present all sides of the argument. You know, it's not easy to present a positive side of the argument to nuclear annihilation, but we were able to present the sound and solid arguments that people who are not in favor of de-alerting have, so that we can invite people into the discussion.
And maybe emotion is what's missing from the stupid so-called logic behind our dehumanized nuclear posture.